Great afternoon, everyone, and welcome to one of the last classes in here. Today is the last chapter, as well as yesterday, chapter number 20, divergences, and we have 3 classes on this session. Yesterday class was number 1. Today is going to be the last class that we talked about the actual divergence, and tomorrow we're going to have a plus 1 class to talk about difference between win rate and profitability. So do not miss these last classes that we're having it. Last sessions are going to be, I believe, it's going to be Tuesday, Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken. Monday, Tuesday, sorry. Tuesday, last class. So guys, thank you so much for stopping by. Let me get started with you guys because you guys are the most important part of the Piper Academy. So let's get started with Alexandra G. What is up, Alexandra? Welcome. Great to have you. Thank you so much for taking a minute of your time to spend it here with me. And we also have MJ. Hey, oh, hey, MJ. Hi. Oh, got it. So, not her. All right. Who else we got here? We have Frank the Tank. What's up? Welcome, welcome. Let's get it started, guys. In the meantime, weekend is here. Enjoy it. Take it off. Absolutely. Let's enjoy it. All right, sorry, just some communication here issues, but I think everything is going as planned. So let's take a look at Bitcoin, and then we'll jump right into the last class of divergences. So let's get it. Let's go to the charts. All right, Bitcoin 4 hours still doing not much in here. We need to start getting careful here. Why? Remember, time it's running out. If we don't see Bitcoin falling here, then we can start assuming that we're gonna be having a bullish flag, or at least just a little bit of a flat pause of bullish continuation. All right. So again, time is clicking. It's ticking. Let's take a look at where we're looking, or where we're standing so far, almost at the center of the RSI prime. Of course, that we can bounce off the center like we have bounced before in here, and then right before creating a higher low, but right before that pump, having a visit to the lower areas. But so far, we are on decision zones. So let's see what else we have in here. Let's take a look at our other oscillators. So far, our prime oscillator, it's at the 0 line. We're creating some pressure in here. This is not good. Well, not good if you're planning to long it, right? But in fact, creating this pressure at the top adds to the idea that we could be going lower to 102, 101 area to then get a better entry here, and then off we go, as we have seen 4 hours, longer periods, or daily. Let's see what else do we have. Maybe we can have a little bit more insight in here with our build-up oscillator. This is the ADX alongside with a linear regression oscillator from Chart Prime. Let's combine them. Oops, and for some reason it doesn't want to move on me. There we go. Come on. There we go. Such a noob. All right, newbie time. So we are positive. We have peak performance here. I was expecting a double topping here, like a double peak performance, or at least a double mountain here. We're not too late, but so far we don't have the crossover diamond. Also remember that as a secondary possibility, we'll be creating a very small valley for us to come here and then have some continuation. So once again, careful. Where are we pointing at on our ADX? We're pointing down. So despite we're bullish, we don't have enough momentum. So we're losing that momentum. So slight retracement or ranging, and we are ranging. So far so good. Let's go for another indicators here. We have money flow rising in. That is something that I like to see while we are bouncing off the 0 line, or almost there with the bounce of the 0 line. The next thing that we're going to be looking, or I'm going to be looking, it's going to be maybe some max outs or some clipping on our True 7, something like that. If you know what a True 7 is, Sorry, you guys caught me a little sick. If you don't know what the true 7 is, it is this line in here that gathers chart primes, secret sauce, and of course 7 other indicators and give you a measurement on how bullish or bearish an asset is at. So a strategy that Alex Shaw Crypto discovering here was having some clipping, a bullish divergence, and off we go. I added 2 more steps into this strategy just to make it a little bit more safe to trade. I want to have the clipping, but the clipping needs to be red. All right, so it needs to be bright red. That is the first addition. Second addition, it was going to be the money flow needs to be pointing at the way that we want the breakout. So if we're looking for clipping down, we're looking for that reversal, so going up. Basically, your money flow needs to be pointing at the same direction that your divergence is pointing. So basically here we have clipping, divergence, and we want our money flow to point up. So just this area is going to be our entry point. So maybe waiting 1 or 2 more candles, and that would have been our entry. So adding a couple of those 2 things into the strategy, I think gives me a little bit more confidence and a much better result. So far, as you can see, here it is. We had the bullish divergence, we have the clipping, and until we have this the money flow pointing upwards or to the upside here, we did not jump in. This is our entry, and then off we go for a microscoping inside. If you hold it back to your entry point, well, then you could have enter once again or do a little bit more money. Nonetheless, I think I would have called it out and then probably re-enter as we turn back bullish, because we would have been breaking through the 0 line. Here we go. It's not about the breakout, it's about your retest. There it is, and then off we go. So far, so good. Let's see how are we looking at the end. Do we have some clipping? Yes, we have some clipping. It's not bright, so that's a little bit of disappointment. Do I have some bullish divergence? Not quite there yet. In fact, not yet. If I have a flip of the ribbon here, I will be having a higher low, usually a higher low with a lower lows in price action that give us divergences. Remember, when we're measuring bottoms, we're also measuring bottoms, right? When we're measuring tops for divergences, we are also measuring tops from divergences on that area. So from this top to this top, right here, that divergence. So remember, they need to diverge. Bullish divergence, it is when you're in a downtrend. All right, let's go and take a look at here. When you're in a downtrend, right, you look for a bullish divergence, which is a change of direction. So we were looking at this downtrend, not this one, my bad. Nonetheless, downtrending here, right? And then what we have a higher low. And what other thing are we looking for in here? We're looking for a lower high to create those divergences. Those divergences, when we're looking at them, well, then usually they are aggressive when we are above the dynamic reactor, or they get capped when we are below dynamic reactor. So that's why it's very, very important to ask ourselves, are we above or below dynamic reactor? Now that we're talking about divergence that we learned yesterday, what other divergences there are? Because I promised to teach you guys about hidden divergences today, right? So let's go to a cleaner chart right now and explain those for today. So what is a hidden divergence? Let's go for example, a bullish hidden divergence. And when we have price action and then we have our oscillator, right? Well, then on the price action, we want to start seeing something like this, all right? So remember, we're measuring bottoms. So in this case, a hidden divergence is where the price action is going high, right? But our oscillator is making lows, right? So once again, we are diverging. So let's recap, because this looks a lot like a possible bearish divergence, bearish not hidden divergence, right? So how would that look like, and why do they look like one alike to another? Why are they so similar? Well, It's not that they're so similar, but that is because in a bullish divergence, we are measuring bottoms, and a bearish divergence, we are measuring tops, right? So for a bearish divergence to happen, well, remember, we are measuring tops, and on the price action, we want to have higher tops. That also comes in the place of something like that, all right? So we're measuring tops, and then what we want to see right down here is going to be maybe something like that, right? So a top going lower, so bearish divergence in here, right? And triple bearish divergence right there. So what is up with bullish divergence? The bullish divergence, instead of a reversal, it is a continuation signal. So why is that? Something important that we need to understand, it is that on our oscillator, when we're having this low, well, then we're also going to hit the previous high on our oscillator, most likely. That gives us an opportunity to then create a higher low in here, while we create maybe some sort of range right down here, all right, for a further continuation. So far, hopefully everything is looking good for you guys. So that is a bullish, right, divergence. Let's hidden divergence. So let's go hidden, bullish, hidden divergence. So now let's take a look at a bearish. Let's go for a bearish hidden divergence. So how that look like in the price action zone versus the oscillator zone. So in the price action zone, you want to see lower highs. Remember, in this case, we're looking for a bearish divergence when we're looking tops, right? Tops with tops. So where are we going to be looking on our hidden oscillator for a hidden divergence? We're going to be looking something like that, right? So we go for tops and we go for tops. And in this case, on the price action, again, we might be seeing something like that before a continuation. So it showcases maybe just a little bit of a stop. So usually that stop, it's immediate, all right? And then a continuation as we as we break the previous lows, just like before on hidden bullish divergence, we break previous highs. So those are hidden divergences. I don't really trade on hidden divergences because they tend not to be as aggressive as traditional divergences. In my perspective, joining points, right? So basically when you come into a house and you see dog fur, right? And it smells like a dog, right? And then you see a little I don't know, cup out of water in the floor, right? Well, then you see all the signals that might be a dog in that house, right? So the same way, I'd start joining some points in here, and usually, based on my own perception, is that hidden divergences are normal, not intervention price adjustments in the market, which means that this is just a normal correction and disparity in the market that finds balance, right? While a normal divergence, which is a little bit more aggressive, usually comes out of a fundamental analysis or someone just going crazy about a news or something happening, right, that affects in a very dramatic way a dump or a pump. So that's why I said that it is manipulation when we have a normal divergence, because despite it was intended or not, a external factor interfere into the price action to create some fear or greed in the market, right? So it's not like a normal movement. Therefore, hidden divergences, both bullish and bearish, they tend to play slightly not as aggressive as normal divergences. That's why, for the sake of the cleanliness of my charts, which is not that big of a thing that I keep on there, but I usually turn them off, try not to look at them that often, unless we're having, let me just get rid of this because maybe I have drawings to save. Yes, and I do. Because maybe you could be looking into, or you could be just too concentrated in various divergences for a weak result while you have other stuff to look at, right? So that is it for divergences. Now let's do a little bit of a practice run today. Let's go over a couple of coins because I think the market is getting interested, right? And at this point, I still back up my possibility here on, or my analysis here on Bitcoin, where I could be having maybe a higher low to create a new trend line, and then off we go. Nonetheless, time is ticking. So why do I say the time is ticking? Because we are already reversing on the RSI, we are reversing on the oscillator, we are reversing basically everywhere, but the price action doesn't actually reverse, right? We can still have one sweep of the lows, and maybe this could also be it. How do we know that? Well, looking at our oscillator here, then I believe, let's clear most of it. Let's go for the brushes in here. Let's see. All the way to here. All right, I think they can be gone. And again, all the way maybe to here. I think they could be also gone. Oh man, I'm telling you, it's not that I really keep my charts clean, but they tend to, I don't know, get cleaner or that less cleaner as we go. More spaghetti. All right, I think that's it. So what am I expecting here? If we go lower and have maybe a higher low in here, which could still happen, right? Like this. What happened to the price action? We did have a little retracement and then off we go, right? So maybe this little retracement could be small, and as we go up, because look at your money flow, it's building up. So why in the heck are we not pushing upwards, right? So once again, we are holding the ground where money flow is pushing in. I think we're building up some pressure. That pressure, as we have seen on our oscillator here, our classic oscillator, is building up at the top, most likely to burst at the bottom, maybe find some support, and then off we go. So once again, this is going to be a very interesting area for a possible re-entry. So far, so good. Hey, username in the house. We also have Weak Wife. What is up? Mahomov, welcome. Killer or Keely, what is up? Welcome, guys. So hopefully you guys are. Hey, hola, happy Friday. Hey, happy Friday. Hopefully you guys have some plans. I do. Trading. So we'll see if maybe I get some luck throughout this weekend. I don't know. Maybe if I'm not that busy, maybe we do some live trading or something. Once again, guys, a quick reminder to click that like button if you like the content of these sessions. Remember, this is actually the last chapter, and we only have 2 more classes. If you want more about this content, or you want this content to evolve, please let me know here in the chat, or also let me know on the Piper Academy. I want to hear you out, guys, to see if we just finish up these courses and just stay with the Piper Academy, or we evolve into maybe coin hunting, just trade setups, live trading, you name it, guys. More education. Maybe we can go specialize in different indicators, so on and so forth. So other than that, guys, let me know what you guys want this class to become, and maybe if we're a little bit lucky, we can do some magic all together as a community. All right. Let's see. Hey again, Alexandra. Hey, Pirate. What is up, my friend? One way. Welcome, brother. Welcome. Week's wife. Welcome. All right, guys. So let's continue. Let's take a look at other stuff in here. Let's go over a top-down analysis from the usual coins that we look into. Let's get started right here, just because I have it right here. TRX. So, all right, let's zoom out as we have learned. Zoom out as much as we can, and let me just get rid of the RSI. I don't think we're going to be using it anymore, and I think this is it. All right, perfect. So TRX staying exactly the same, not doing anything at all, right? I mean, yeah, it's true that we are on the same range with some two anomalies, right? The important part happening here. Why? Because as we have this dump, we got back at previous prices that we were before. So if we ignore Bitcoin dump, we're basically tightening down on this range, and we're breaking back and forth, back and forth, back and forth until we find a decision to break through. Nonetheless, this could be the last breakout that we have, because we are getting a higher prime score. And look at that, our consolidation score is at 9, almost at the end. So what does the consolidation score means? Means that we're highly consolidating. Yeah, no shit, right? But it also tells you that we are at the edge of that consolidation. So basically, we're getting ready to break out of that consolidation. So are we overextended? Well, seems like we're on our way. So let me just get rid of these things in here for now. And let's see. Why I cannot shift click them? Maybe I did. All right, perfect. So let's get rid of this, and that will be it. Perfect. Just leaving this as we learned it before. So by the way, guys, this was a section or a chapter where we define whether we're going to be having a retest or not. And remember that in this case, we didn't have a retest. There we go. And look at that. Boom, shakalaka. Very nice movement to the upside. So that actually worked pretty fine. Pretty good. Let's go to hashtag Ethereum. Hashtag F Ethereum, by the way. So far, doing again nothing, sitting in the freaking void of nothingness, of boringness, right? And we need to be careful and maybe getting a little bit pumped in here. It is not because it's going to go up or down. I believe we're going down on Ethereum, but it is because it's getting boring, right? And what happens when you get bored on Bitcoin or any altcoins? Well, then they sweep it under the rug, right? And they just pull you out in here, and you miss the pump or you miss that dump. So far, we are having some downwards movement in here. How far can we go? You see that I have a couple of set alerts in here, or at least areas, right? And what I'm going to be looking for is going to be going back down and see what happens with my oscillator. This is going to be the first thing that I'm going to be testing the waters with. It's not an open position. It is just seeing what's going to happen as we impact the very first resistance channel that we have. All right. Another thing that I want to show you, it is, look at that, consolidation, highly consolidating, because we are on 9. So again, no shit that we're highly consolidating, right? It's boring AF, but also it's telling us that it's about to break. Perfect. Do we know where is it going to break? Not really, but we have a couple of wink signs in here. First one, look at that, 1 on your prime score, very bearish. Second one, breaking through the zero line, very bearish, right? Once again, the only thing that is bullish right now, it is the candle color right here. So let's bring up our oscillator, which is the one printing right now, and see what is it telling us that is bullish. Well, we are right at the end, because I mean technically we're still bullish because we're green, and we're slightly pointing upwards into our ADS. That means that we could be ranging or going up, and guess what? We're ranging, so time is ticking. Something that I don't like, it is that our ADS is slightly pointing upwards, right? And why is that? Isn't that having strength on the bullishness? Yes, but are we going up? Not really. We're ranging. We're actually doing well, not the worst, but the second worst thing that we could be doing at these zones, right? We are supposed to be going up, and we're not. What is it going to happen when we're supposed to be going down, right? So food for thought. What am I going to be wanting to see? A reversal diamond here, or a crossover diamond going low. I think we're going to have a peak point in here, a peak performance. Going high in here, which means a quick and big swipe. That's why I'm testing the waters here. I'm gonna keep an eye on what happens, because if I get a big push to the upside, I'm deciding not going to trade this. I'm not taking this entry. Why? It's just too dangerous, man. It's just too dangerous, right? So I will be considering re-entering right here or right here, all right? Where the danger, it's already going out. Why is it too dangerous to long here? Because we're getting strength on the downside. So maybe we can be going for the breakout retest, and boom, now we're talking, right? So next area of support that we're looking into, 2,255. So right again, testing the waters to see what happens on Ethereum at 2,353, and then a possible entry where I'm going to be looking for a flip of the ribbon or a peak performance in our linear regression oscillator at 2,255. So there we go, guys. Let's see what else we have. Let's go to Turbo. Turbo actually playing out as it should. This is something that I like, right? Why is that? Let's get started first with what we see. We see a dumpster. I'm so sorry, Turbo, but it's the truth, right? But here is something that maybe could be saving us from disaster. We have sweep of the lows, perfect. Coming down, little range, V-shaped recovery, high, not higher than the previous range. That gives us 70% chances of ranging. How do we define our range? We already have learned it right here where we have the bulk of the candles without counting those wicks down here, right? So that is the lower range, whereas the higher range is going to be between the previous ranging zone. So this is our no trading zone. This is our entry for long. This is our entry for short. So far, this is unconfirmed, all right? This is unconfirmed. What we need to confirm, we need to what? And we're about to do it. We're about to do it. Look at that. What is it coming? And what does it seems that it should be coming? A diamond reversal, right? So if we have a diamond reversal, we're going to turn bullish, right? What needs to happen? Maybe just a little bit of a retracement, right? Creating that higher low. Oh, now higher low, right? Then maybe this movement is not about the breakout. It's about the retest. And then off we go. Boom, shakalak. All right. So again, this is a work in progress. Nonetheless, I do believe that we could be coming back down in here. And by the way, this trend line, I'm just guessing based on this other trend line, that is from the Wyckoff, a possible Wyckoff V-shaped recovery. Usually what I see that we have a lower range. We can start using our indicators right here. All set nonsense. Wait, what's up, bro? Welcome. All right. So something interesting is that we did have bullish engulfing and short TP, perfect, and that played out like a charm. Very nice. All right, support and resistances. Look at that. Where do we have our support? You see, I mean, it's very funny that already we have these indicators that are very precise, right? And I'm always in the charts, right? I mean, from 7 a.m. to right now 7 p.m., 12 hours looking at charts, guys. So I'm telling you, I got good at looking at support and resistances, but it's just like magic, right? When you see a support, there should be a support. You turn your indicators, and it's very comfortable to see that your indicator is actually playing out as you expected, right? So very nice, very nice. So there we go, a possible support right down there. So my speculation was correct, or could still be correct, right? So let's add an alert right here, and also just in case I am wrong. All right, remember we're not coming from the future. We don't know what's going to happen, right? We always need to stay humble. And staying humble is understanding that we're humans in our analysis, despite that it could be right. We need to understand that there is manipulation, or we could be just plain out wrong. All right. So having that, being that humble in the market, let's just assume that we are wrong with this one, right? And we're just gonna go to Valhalla. How do I trade if we go to Valhalla from here? Well then, let's take a look at our resistances, right? What do I need to guess if I have them right there? All right, if I go up, look at that, resistance, and that is not new. Look at where we were aiming for the next top, right? It's not about your breakout, then it's about your retest, maybe same areas of support onto the trend line in here, all right? And then off we go to the upside. So I would rather wait for this stop to be hit, right? Or even be taken. And if we break this stop, my low entry, right, it's also gonna go higher, right? Depending how high I go on the first breakout, right? On the first breakout, how high I go, it's gonna be the next possible retracement. So I believe that we're gonna have some up movement in here, unless Bitcoin goes to the floor, right? Or gets tripped, tripping downwards in a never-ending spiral. But other than that, actually, Turbo looking very, very good. You know what? There's been I haven't uploaded many trades today into a Discord. Let's get a couple of those ready to go now that we're visiting this, just in case somebody misses this. Let's go for a possible long scenario right here for the best case scenario right here. Not, come on, doesn't let me add it. There we go. And then somewhere around there, right? And maybe, remember, we can change this here or here. It depends. But so far, I'm looking at this area for stop loss right below this area, and then give myself a wiggle room, aiming for the very first zone to move my stop to entry, and off we go. So far, so good. Let me just snip this and then paste it on the Discord, and we'll continue. All right, what time is it? 6:48. All right, we still have some time. Guys, help me out in here and let me know what assets you're looking at. Could be any asset as long as it's on TradingView. So don't tell me things that they are not in TradingView. But other than that, it can be gold, it can be silver, it can be plutonium, it can be, I don't know, uranium, it could be whatever. It could be even orange juice. I think we can chart orange juice. What are you looking at? What altcoins, what assets are you interested in? Let me know on the chat. There we go. Waiting for your answer, guys. In the meantime, I'm going to be updating the trade setups that I have on the Discord. Oh my goodness, sorry for that. Oh, I'm still battling with my sickness. But let's try to make the most out of the show. All right, so Ava, Avav? What? That's new. All right, Lake, Ava, Avav? I don't know. Am I just tripping? All right, let's do AV. Oh, brother. Sorry, such an ignorant I was. Yes, all right, yeah. Let's take a look at aerial environment. We have a beautiful CME gap, all right? What's about the CME gap? Usually when we have a CME gap, yeah, things can happen, but sooner than later, we hit or we go to try to fill that CME gap. Look at that, another CME gap, and finally we went to filled up almost there with another CME gap, right? Pretty funny that we had it there. So let me clean this up. Let's go piece by piece. We have a beautiful pump in here. What are we going to be looking for? We're going to be looking for peak performance in here, right? So the diamond, when we have the diamond in here, we're going to be looking at our ATX. Most likely this is going to happen fast. And on that, we're going to be looking for a Fibonacci. Remember, we learned this on the 50% retracement class, right? The easy peasy lemon squeezy way that I was sliding under the rock for you guys. An easy Fibonacci is going to be from breakout retest. So I'm going to measure it from here. From so far, this movement, but I'll know the top of that movement when I get my peak performance, right? So far, areas that I'm interested for a retracement, look at that, your 50% retracement is right there on your CME gap, looking fantastic, but I usually aim for half of it, a 33.333 retracement, which if you guys remember, this is a very close to the what is it? I don't quite remember the names of a first retracement on Fibonacci. All right. So I just like to do it this way. Nahidai Heika, what's up? Nailed it. Bitcoin. We just analyzed Bitcoin. We're gonna do it at the end of the class again, so don't leave. I could be looking for this retracement to then look it back at my oscillator. If I'm still bullish, don't think it too much and go for it. But in the meantime, I'm going to be looking for something like my predictive ranges. There we go. We have a bunch of volume happening here. I want to say that we are going to range bound right back to the third, and not only the third, the blue line. Remember, once we break the predictive ranges, like almost immediately we go to find the blue line, right? And then when we reverse, we do the same on the blue line. So a possible re-entry at 260 and 60. That will be cool. All right, let's see if we have anything else in here line up. No order blocks, of course. No order blocks. Support resistance a little bit too far away. Too big of a movement. Let's use FIVP. All right, FIVP is telling us a slight movement to the upside for a possible target right here. We already have hit it, guys. We already have reached this possible target in here, or even right here. We already have hit it. So after that, you usually see that 33% retracement. So expect that when we see, once again, when we see that peak performance, we might be getting at that soon enough. Party at OCs, absolutely, man. Let's go. I actually have a little hot dogs. What is it? How do you call that? Hot dogs post cart? I don't know. Like New York hot dog things. But just so you know, I do good hot dogs, right? Don't tell Alex. We'll saving him all the wieners and not the buns. Maybe. So Alex, if you're watching, of course, this is a joke. I'm going to play the replay tomorrow, I promise. So guys, please call me out on tomorrow's Alex with Alex, or tell Alex that we're saving him the wieners and we're taking the buns in the party of my retirement party. All right. No joke that I actually have a how do you call it? A wiener, a hot dog cart? I don't know how do you call them. Let me know. Let's see. Where did I stumble upon? AVAV. Perfect. Got it. Nailed it right there. Bitcoin. And it was another one? Was there another one? I believe so. Was it one before? Link. Yeah, we got Link in here. All right, let's take a look at Link. Actually, we looked at Link today in the morning in the morning market report. Let's see how is it playing out. Oh, and by the way, we have a retracement place. All right, so that is pretty neat. So we are back. Well, we were measuring this retracement, of course, right from the previous low. There it is. Nonetheless, there. What was it? Exactly right there. Perfect. All right, so where are we? Based on that, let me just get rid of this. All right, we have a possible continuation to the upside. Ooh, and this is looking actually good. This is looking good. All right, this is what I want to see on Bitcoin for the bullish scenario, guys. Exactly what Link is doing. First of all, we had Thursday, Friday price action. All right, we have weekend dump. Perfect. All right, we called that out, right? Perfect. Then I called this in on Monday, right? That not called it in, but I said, well, look at how we're not just at previous Friday's price action. We are higher. Perfect. That is a strength signal. That is the strong sentiment on link. All right, we are not bullish. Let me show you that we are not bullish at all, right? But we can draw a trend line. Let's go for this trend line right here, and let's do another mainstream trend line. I'm gonna grab this one here and maybe try to catch as many. There we go. Maybe this high, this high, this high in here. There we go, like that, and this one lines up perfectly. All right. So we're not only, and this is what I wanted to show you, we're not only at previous or pre-dump Friday prices, right? It's been 1 week and we're holding our ground on the same price action while we were supposed to be going down. And look at how faint that oscillator is looking. I mean, come on, I need to bring a microscope to actually see the bearish here. And even when we're bearish, we already have kind of like a movement to the upside. I think we're going to have kind of like a fake out in here, something like that. And then when we have our reversal diamond, well, if we did, right? We did went up when we were supposed to go up. And when we're supposed to go down, we hold the ground. Now that we're supposed to be even lower, we're holding the ground. What do you think is going to happen when it's time to go up? All right. We still need the confirmation, guys, but this is looking juicy. I think we could do a great trading here. Let's bring up a couple of indicators before we wrap this up. All right. So we are in support for a possible sweep of the lows. All right. For a possible sweep of the lows, I'm going to aim for the previous low in here. All right here. And I think MJ is in a link trade, aren't you? Yeah, she is. She's on a link trade. There we go. And then, well, if we hit this low by this previous one, because we could be making a divergence, all right? Oh, bottoms and bottoms, right? So what could we be looking at here? Oh my God, sorry. Bottoms and bottoms. What could we be looking into here? And maybe sweep of the lows? Breakout retest, up we go to these areas, all right? If we straightforward breakout retest, up we go, right? So how are we going to be handling this? I really resisting, guys, to give you the entry zone right now. Because this is a high traffic zone. We have a lot of resistance, all right? We have a lot of resistance, but we're coming into the weekend. Weekend usually it's low volume. So let's keep it as is. We're going to be setting up this alert. In fact, we're going to go for a higher zone just so we have the pre-alert. Oh, sorry about that, guys. Hopefully this weekend I get better. All right. So we're going a little bit of a higher here, just so we have enough time to come back in, grab our position, look for that flip of the ribbon, and look for that strength, because that's what we're looking for. Strength as we cross over the 0 line, or as we have the reversal diamond. Like this reversal diamond. You see that reversal diamond? All right. And then the strength. In this case, we have a tiny itty bitty bull and then back, right? Hopefully that doesn't happen. What we want to see, let me see if I can get it here. All right, something like that. Here it is. Look at how low we're going, right? Reversal diamond, all right? And then strength right here, It's not about the breakout. It's about your retest and, ooh, juicy. All right, so how many kilos of what, bro? I don't know. Don't get me started, because you know what we export the most in Mexico? Of course, love. YouTube, love. We export love, bro. So, yeah, no white powder. Let's move on. All right, let's see what else we have. We have a request for, what was it? Bitcoin, right? And we're at the end of the class, so let's go take a look at how Bitcoin is doing. Oh man, I wanted to see EOS, but it's not in here anymore. Why not? Come on. Don't take my EOS away. EOS USDT. Yeah. No, come on. This is not EOS. Why am I not seeing it? They're not longer available? No, come on, cannot be. Maybe let's go in this one, and it was... Come on, come on, come on. Yeah. You got to be kidding me. Well, it is what it is. All right, it is what it is. All right, well, we'll have to see. No perpetual contracts. All right, whatever. Let's take a look at Bitcoin and see where we're standing. Once again, we're creating a bullish flag. We were expecting a little bit of a retest on the dynamic reactor. Dynamic reactor is coming in strong, but there is a support in our way. All right. Not only that, time is ticking for Bitcoin. Why is it time ticking for Bitcoin? Let's go to a cleaner chart, right? And time is ticking for Bitcoin because we were supposed to go low. We have a diamond, or we are about to have a reversal diamond. And if we are able to hold our grounds or even sweep the lows and stay above dynamic reactor, oh my goodness, look at that bull flag. And that's the conservative point, because if we aim for this one in here, ooh, we're aiming, and this I'm hoping 114. That seems like a good move, right? But still, what's going to happen if we break down and we pierce to that zero line going right here? In fact, I'm going to be aiming a little bit higher. There we go. That is because I also see not only my reference point, but also some lows. So I think this makes more sense for my alert to be slightly above, so I can take action in the future as it's ringing. All right, so righty here, I'm gonna be looking at my oscillator. Do I have maybe a peak performance diamond bottom? If it's so, boom shakalaka long, TP number one, head switch to the downside, but I'm gonna keep my long open. All right, I'm already moved stop to entry, nothing to lose, taking already some profits, aiming for a half of a position for the short, and that's gonna be the setup for this weekend. All right, guys, let me go to the solo show here. Oops, this is not the solo window. All right, here it is. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining today. Remember, this is the last chapter, Divergences, where we have actually finished it up. Tomorrow we're gonna have a bonus class, which I'm gonna be talking about the difference between profitability and win rate. Which one is it better for you? Are you going to be hunting just profitability? Are you going to be hunting win rate? Are you going to be sane enough to hold your ground when you are very low win rate but very high profitability? How is that possible? So a couple of those myths that sometimes we don't think about, right? And we just get stuck in, I need to have a better win rate, right? Win rate is not everything, let me tell you. And I learned it the hard way, just so you know. So tomorrow is going to be, well, not tomorrow, Monday. Monday is going to be the last class. And then Tuesday, we're going to have a after party in this channel. Let's see, I'm going to be inviting Alex, Shark, Crypto, and Piper just to do a couple of trade setups to say goodbye. And guys, I want your likes and also your comments. If you want this show to continue, you need to let me know. Please like this video, share it with your friends, and also let us know on the Piper Academy. If you want this show to change into, instead of just education, turn into just new coins hunting, still, or live trading, or again, still education, or just plain and simple TA and trade setups, let me know if you want this show to continue or to evolve. You need to go into the Piper Academy Discord. And right, I want the Trading with OC to evolve to this channel. I want Trading with OC to stay as is, or it's fine. Let's just say bye to Trading with OC and evolve to whatever you guys wanted to, right? Let me read you guys because I have a different window in here. There we go. Perfect. Other than that, guys, thank you so much for joining. And remember, this course, watch it as you can, download it as much as you can, because this course is going to go private in a couple of days or maybe a couple of weeks. We still don't know. And it's going to get refined, compressed, compact, and we're going to be offering as a pro course We're also going to be doing one-on-ones farther ahead as the courses are being ended. We're going to be shifting, giving away one-on-ones. All right, so other than that, guys, thank you so much for joining. And as always, see you guys this time on Monday. And have a great weekend. Bye-bye, guys.